set, so you guys have something to go back and look after when we're done. All right, let me get this all situated. So I guess the first things first is I have y'all's form pulled up here. Diamond team obviously looks like a pretty snazzy org. Everyone's got all their ducks in a row. It looks awesome. The Discord's organized better than my sock drawer. So what's the deal? Who the heck are you guys? Respectfully.
Thank you.
So is this just a you guys compete at Diamond tournaments? Like what is this organization? What got you guys started as a team?
So this is basically it kind of started out as friends playing together, and then friends wanted to play tournaments, and then I think
and then world domination, and you know.
Yeah, I'm not sure where Storm is. I think Crispy's been on the team the longest.
And then it just kind of became an improvement from there on out.
Yeah, so it's just kind of a bunch of friends playing in tournaments and getting coaching and stuff to get better together.
Makes sense.
The team was originally put together just for one tournament, and then a couple people decided to stay for long term.
Okay, makes sense. Makes sense. All right, well, cool. I'm glad to be here. What kind of tournaments do you guys compete in? At least as of recently.
We've done UGC, Tranquility, GGNA.
Nice.
We just won the GGNA summer.
Nice. Congratulations.
Like the weekend thing, and we just won the International Overwatch League summer showdown.
Yes, really. Congratulations, guys. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is our first I think when I joined we were like a gold bordering on plat team. If I'm remembering right, Storm, you can correct me.
Yeah, so sounds about right.
Yeah, so GGNA, we played in Plat, and then this last tournament that we won, we played in Diamond for the first time.
Okay, congrats, and you won it too, so clearly you're doing something right. Nice. Okay, well, congrats, that's awesome. So let's start this off with getting to know everybody here. Let's just go down the list in the Discord, starting with FNAF lore expert. If you're just a spectator here, you could just let me know, but I want to know everybody's team. I guess just knowing the name and your role within the team, manager, coach, Mercy one trick, Torb one trick, let me know.
Crispy,
be nice.
Is she at a lecture?
Oh, she might be.
That's fine. We can skip down.
She also just might not want to talk first.
That's fine as well. That's fine as well.
So I'm sorry, I was muted. I'm sorry.
Oh, there we go.
That's okay.
What did you want me to?
Well, I know your name is Crispy now, so I'm one up on you. So, what role do you fill within the team?
DPS.
Okay. Any particular heroes? Hit scan. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
With the exception of Echo. Yeah.
Okay. Makes sense. All right. G Flow. Is that the proper name?
Yeah.
Okay.
I play Lucio Brig for this team.
Okay. Makes sense. Gold Prime. What should I call you?
I play Mercy Lucio.
Okay. Gold Prime. Gold. What should I call you?
G Prime.
She Prime.
That's She Prime. We all changed our names as a joke, but She Prime's our resident gold player.
She Prime. Yeah. Okay. Okay, I got you. I love the negative reinforcement that's coming out right now. Okay. Pajama Grong. So who would this be?
Yeah, you can just call me Gron.
Okay.
I'm the tank player. I play all of them.
Okay. Sounds good. Do you have a favorite?
Changes on the Biley. I've been playing a lot of Winston recently because he's pretty good.
It's a good choice.
Just been getting into Ram.
Okay.
My friend's been trying to get me to play Roadhog more.
Not a good choice. There's some friends will sell you heroin.
Thank you.
Some friends will get you into Roadhog. Definitely avoid the latter. Okay. Fury, I think somebody was messaging me.
Yeah, that's me.
Okay. Boom. I think it was boom.com. Okay, Fury. All right. And your role within the team?
I'm flex support. And I'm the manager.
Okay, flex support and the manager. So you're the smartest person in the lobby for 2 reasons. You see, I'm a flex support.
I wouldn't.
Sorry, what was the last thing you said?
Front row.
Uh-oh.
He died.
Oh, it's a
1, 2,
Mike.
3. Okay, yeah, Mike
Okay.
just conked out. Okay, we should be back. Give
There we
me
go.
1 second, guys. Hang on.
We'll be right back with these technical difficulties.
You know, I'm kind of glad it bugged out because I would not have heard that. Okay, yeah, I was making a smarmy remark about how all the flex support players are the smartest because I also play flex support, but it got cut out, so it's just as well you didn't hear that. Okay, so flex support in manager, lovely. Real spile.
Yeah.
Okay, your role and name.
Oh, you.
Oh, that's wrong.
Oh, that's
yeah.
wrong. You
Oh,
already,
you-
you already
I was-
have.
I
He
was
just
gonna-
renamed
I was gonna
himself.
say your name sounds familiar. Okay, or your voice sounds
I was-
familiar. Okay, and Storm.
Yep, just Storm.
Perfect.
I'm a flex DPS player.
Okay, and by that, projectile, flankers,
Uh,
just a little bit of all of it.
Yeah, like Hanzo,
Junkrat,
Tracer,
Hanzo.
All right.
whatever, Reaper.
Okay, deep breath.
He's also the captain.
Okay, it's captain as well.
And yet the dumbest.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
usually how it
Yep.
works.
He said
So
it. We
true.
The
didn't.
dumbest, the
Gi-
youngest.
Give
we
the
love you
idiot
either way.
the loud. Give the idiot the speaker. Swaggersaurus Rex.
I play DPS. I'm also a hit scan. I'm the sub, and I also play hit scan,
Okay.
and I also play Mei because they don't want to play Mei.
I think that's their mistake, bro. I legit think May is super underrated. I think May is actually super fun in Overwatch too.
Storm's been working on his
It's not that I
though.
don't want to play May. It's just that I'm really bad at May.
Uh-huh.
Same.
Uh-huh.
I am
Okay,
bad
Okay.
on
Oh, and
that.
by the way, what should I call you, Swaggersaurus Rex?
Oh, swag for sure.
Swag for short. Okay, perfect. And then, okay, all right. I'm gonna give this one a shot. Okay, I can't even. It won't even pull up. William Atherton official.
I'm just mydad.com. I'm your contact.
Okay. Yeah. I was gonna say. All right. And then your role within the team, manager.
I'm a tank sub
Tank sub.
and cast the games. Doom one trick.
Okay. Tank sub and
Yeah,
Doom
one
one trick.
I
Okay.
play.
All
I
right.
do like Doom.
I do.
On,
You're one half step up from a Roadhog one trick. I'll give you that. But yeah.
Okay, now this is just getting like.
yeah.
I'm
Wait a second. I
feeling-
keep seeing these names adjusting. This is. I'm noticing a pattern here. Okay, so nice to meet you guys. My name is Spilo. I don't care what you call me. Call me moron, idiot, the guy that's talking. That works as well. So looking forward to getting here. Now, looking at the form which William Atherton official filled out. What do you hope to get out of the session? I hope we can come away with a little bit better understanding of how our various compositions should play, what the strengths and weaknesses are, and how to min-max its efficacy. So talking a little bit about the compositional stuff. What are your team's long-term and short-term goals in Overwatch? Obviously, this is just one person's opinion, but I'm going to read it out loud. We've gone from 2.3k to 3.3k scrims in a year. We talked about that. Well done. We hope to develop a few reliable comps that could rotate through and continue to raise the SR we scrim at. Nice. What do you feel is holding your team back from improving? Now, I'm going to interject really quick. Now, I can probably guess that you guys
Cool.
individually have also increased your SR. Yes?
I think overall we have
Yeah.
for the most part.
Okay. Excellent. Because to be honest with you
when we
guys...
started, I was silver.
Okay, and where are you now? Gold Prime. So there you
Gold
go.
one, gold
right?
one.
So brilliant, basically plat. So I think like if we're to end the Disney music harshly here, the dream being there is great and all, but honestly the best thing that you can do is rank up for teams of this SR. If you guys want to be scrimming at a higher rank, the best thing you can do to rank up. However, along the way, improving your team play, coordination, composition, understanding, communication, and just general friendliness, those are all going to allow you to guys perform better as well, and that's why we're here. But I guess just keeping that in mind, I guess having an idea of where you guys want to aim at might be good, because the sad truth is that the law of diminishing returns kicks in to where you're going to have to keep working harder and harder and harder the higher you go. So it might be good every now and then to kind of reevaluate, where are we happy with where we at? Because think about it this way. You guys have already done a monumental task as it is. Like 1,000 SR higher is phenomenal. That being said, moving to Masters, it's going to be a lot tougher. Moving to Grandmaster, a lot tougher. And you guys might not be like, well, we don't care about that. But I guess just having an idea of where you want to aim for might be helpful. And then in addition to that, what do you feel is holding it back from improving? On the forum, it says our communication has gotten much better, but we still have trouble with target focus, okay? And I think it comes from a lack of fight planning, lovely, or just a lack of knowledge as far as how to approach fights strategically. So a little bit of composition and stuff, a little bit of communication. Now, this is the real thing. Before we get into the gameplay, I got one more question to ask, but unfortunately, it's a lot of one question. I want to go down the list, starting with Crispy. If you could say one, maybe two priorities for this team that you think is holding you guys back from contending at the Overwatch Think level, what is that? Is that a compositional thing, a communicational thing? Is it maybe the way that you guys practice? Like anything that comes to mind. And if nothing comes to mind, the answer can be nothing. Crispy, do you have anything that comes to mind?
Mostly I'd say is communication. I wouldn't say it's a comp wise because I think for the most part, most of the comps that we do, we really excel on them, like especially
Lovely.
when it comes to like poke and stuff like that. But I don't necessarily have a second.
Okay, that works for me.
reason.
I guess here's my question for you. When you say communication, what about your communication? Or is it just a little bit of everything?
I think it's a little bit of everything.
Okay, makes sense. G-Flow, your thoughts, your priority or priorities?
Well, I'm the newest to this team, so
Right.
my opinion is probably not the smallest, but
Yeah,
don't
I got you.
really have the biggest. But I feel like whenever we do scrim wise, because I was too high to play in this last tournament, so I didn't get to play with them. But I think when we scrim, we take it a little bit too personal, and so we get down on ourselves, and then we kind of start playing like shit.
Got it. Very common problem. And you'd be surprised at how common, and by that I don't just mean, mid-ranked teams, Overwatch League teams, right?
For sure, yeah, because everybody wants to win.
Yeah. Big, very common issue. Okay. She Prime, your thoughts. And you could echo what others say as well. You don't have to be like, I have to come up with something creative. Like, echoing
Well, no,
is just as
but
important.
like at a macro, yeah, our communication needs help. Our target priority mainly, continuing a pace within the entire scrim. So like we'll have certain maps that like we're super communicative,
Mhm.
and then we'll have other maps that will just not say a word.
Got it.
But then on a micro scale, I actually think it's our character selection and limitation. I understand that I am pretty much only at this level with Mercy and Lucio, and I do need to bring other characters up to be able to be more valuable.
Yep.
But I think that's the same with everyone. Like everyone could learn a character that could give value to the team.
Right. Okay. Now I want to go back a little bit because you make a really, really important point, which is about losing the intensity during a couple of maps. Do you have any guesses as to what the common factors are there? Is it the map? The later in the scrim, we're tired, or early in the scrim, we needed time to warm up? Is the comps that we play on the map? Maybe it just so happens that the enemy team was like really good on that map. Anything that comes to mind?
Well, what would mainly come to mind is we're usually either good at the start. If our tank dies, that's honestly where the communication always kind of derails within a fight.
Okay.
But when the fights are consistently not going in our favor, that's when we become quieter and quieter, or there'll only be one person talking at all.
Okay. Wrong, and I assume that piggybacks off of you being the captain, being the more vocal player. What are your thoughts?
The Storm's the captain, but I'll take it. It's a promotion.
Oh yeah, true. I'm reading my notes wrong. Okay, so then why? So you're the chatty one then, okay? Or at least that's the impression. So, what are your thoughts on the priorities?
I feel like, a lot of the communication as the tank player is on me, which makes sense because I'm the tank player. But especially like if I lose steam later in the scrim, then the comms just majorly suffer.
Right.
But honestly,
and it's not really fair to ask that of you either, because it's hard to keep
That's
that
fine.
energy up through the entire.
I think they're
thing
just
all
trying
the
to say
time.
nicely that they're tired of hearing you talk.
Yeah, honestly,
We love hearing our tanks talk.
I think like the biggest thing that's holding us back though is like if they buffed Roadhog, then I think Romano would be like quivering.
Can somebody server mute? Does anyone have power on this one?
I got
I
you, don't
do.
worry.
I do actually.
Okay, makes sense. Okay, Fury, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I would kind of echo what G Flow said, and kind of what everybody else said, is that our communication has improved a ton. We do have a problem with prioritizing what our tank has called. I notice people picking other fights for whatever reason sometimes. But the biggest thing I think is the communication thing, where rather than sometimes if things are going really poorly, rather than figuring out how we're going to fix the situation or what we're going to try, I think either tilt or lack of self-esteem gets the best of us, and we all go very silent.
Yeah. Okay. Makes sense. All right, Storm, the real captain. What are your thoughts?
Well, all the communication problems, for starters.
Yeah.
And I feel like we struggle. Like, we go in with the mindset like, oh, this map we're playing this comp. But I feel like we're really bad at adjusting. Like, like, what is the word I'm looking for? I don't know. Just like we don't. It's harder for us to change the way we always play the map and just go on a totally different comp.
Yeah.
Like, just improvising, I guess.
Sure.
Yeah, like a lot of times we'll, after the map has gone so poorly, we'll be like, we should have done this, and it's like, but none of us said that and adjusted in the moment.
Right. Okay. Swag, what
It's
are your
like we
thoughts?
can't evolve.
Yeah.
I think it's two things. One is pacing, so we don't really know how to play aggressive. We rely heavily on poke comps, so we're good at taking angles and kiting, but when we need to push the aggression, we struggle with that. And two is knowing where to take fights. So a lot of times, again, with poke comps, we can kind of just set up and then just poke them out and win. But when we are playing dive or brawl, we're not really sure where to take fights, and a lot of times we kind of just go main and keep forcing that. And I feel like that's why communication and target focus shuts down, because we're not really sure what we're doing.
Got it. And brawl and dive. Okay, and then .com, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, you have mine in the forum,
Of course.
since that was kind of my voice. But yeah, I mean,
Your updated
I
thoughts.
yeah. I mean, I do think, again, kind of like echoing what Grong said, I think pretty much the tank is doing 90% of the comms.
Okay.
Fight planning, ult tracking, pathing, all of that stuff. And then also I do see a difficulty with, and I think part of the targets focus difficulty comes from knowing which targets to focus, not just everyone looking at different things. Like being at a united front, though, obviously, if everybody shoots the same thing, it's going to die regardless, hopefully.
Right. Okay. Let me get this all written down. So
I think Swag put it pretty eloquently, though.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Definitely maybe having some of these issues coming to light because we don't know how to rotate, or we don't know how to push, or how to set up fights. It definitely can exacerbate issues. So you might have a problem with target focus that might actually be because you don't understand the composition, or you're not positioning properly, or vice versa. So definitely common themes here are getting a little bit too, because there's two different ways of looking at this, and I think the answer is probably a little bit of column A and column B. Number one, that we have an issue where taking things a little bit too personally, maybe getting a little bit too upset when things start to go downhill. Everybody in this voice channel has played enough rank to understand that losing is inevitable and it can even be out of your control. So being comfortable, or getting more comfortable, and just expecting things to get a little bit rocky and not really worrying about it too much, because ultimately, like, why are you guys here? Are we going for Overwatch League? Like, is that the goal, right? The answer is probably not. And even if you were, the best thing you could do to progress to that level would be to take every single loss as just a learning opportunity. And if you're not going for Overwatch League and you're just here for fun, then again, what's the point of getting yourself all upset? There's not really anything on the line. You're just doing this for fun. You're doing this to grow and improve. So I think just reminding yourself that even in a scrimmage environment, the consequences of losing a map or performing poorly are non-existent. I think it's always hard when you're in a team, especially ironically with a bunch of people that you actually trust and work with, because sometimes you feel like you don't want to let those people down, or you get frustrated when you have expectations of people that you feel like you know. But ultimately, everybody makes mistakes. And the other thing with scrimmages as well is all as it takes is like a breath to push either direction, and a map can go really, really badly. I mean, look at, again, the Overwatch League. These guys are all basically the same SR, right? But yet some teams are really good and some teams are really bad. And that comes a lot to the intangibles of team play and coordination and confidence. But it could also just be, you know, one team woke up on the right side of the bed. We see that all the time. So don't let that take you too to heart. So I think having that mentality, but also, like I said, a little bit of column B, which I think for us is we don't have necessarily the best communication habits. And by that, I think, at least it's sounding like, we rely too much off of one person and we don't really know what we should be calling outside of that. Now, let's talk with that. I want to dive deeper here. And this is kind of open floor discussion here. So in terms of communication right now, what's it like? Ult tracking, planning, target caller. Do people call plays? Is one person more communicative? When we say Grong talks a lot, what's being said, I guess?
I normally do all of that.
Okay, ult tracking, planning, target focus, everything.
Yes.
Yeah, Grong usually does all of that. And we have our days where just everything's going really smoothly and people are calling for plays and calling for help.
All right.
And then we have those days where something has gone wrong and then half the team just kind of goes quiet and doesn't communicate so much.
Okay. So when you're saying that other people are calling, it might just be scouting, calling for plays, like other little details like that.
Yeah, like when we play in the tournaments, we're all really on top of it and everybody's keeping an eye out. Everybody's doing, you know, calling, you know, I want to do this. Okay, we're going to do this next. So-and-so's here, care.
Right.
But a lot of times, if things start to go just particularly poorly, then at least half of us just kind of shut up.
Well, here's the thing. I think first off, let me put the matter straight. When we talk about communication, we talk about expectations. I'm sure there's some people in this voice channel that are quieter than others, and I've worked with a lot of really quiet Overwatch League level players. What needs to be set in stone are the non-negotiables. All right. So what I mean by that is, if you are playing this hero or doing this situation, you don't need to say jack, but you need to say A, B, and C. And we may not hear you for 2 minutes because there may be no reason to say A, B, or C. However, when that needs to be called, it needs to be called. For example, if you have an ultimate, that's a non-negotiable. What you want to do with that ultimate is a non-negotiable. You don't get the opportunity to say, well, I don't feel like calling that. Well, sorry, you got to call that, right? That's the very least that you could do for your team. Another non-negotiable might be anything crucial that you see on the battlefield, like a scouting call or anything like that. Another non-negotiable might be if we're, for example, we're doing ult tracking and they just use sound barrier, but you know, Grong got his head bonked and he's not really paying attention. And we go, okay, they've got sound barrier, but you saw them use sound barrier. Well, you need to say, yo, shut up. They use sound barrier. That needs to be called. So I think for you guys, it's finding those non-negotiables and just making sure that you're calling them. And that starts with planning and that starts with your ultimates. Part of it might be a confidence issue, but I think the best way to build confidence is just to continually, repeatedly expose yourself to making a really stupid plan with your ultimate and failing, but eventually figuring it out. If there isn't confidence through trial and error, there isn't confidence at all. You guys got nothing to lose. It's just a scrimmage. Nobody cares. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Because you need to help Grong out. I think everybody here agrees with that, but if everybody's agreeing with it and it's still a problem, then I think that's going to be a time for some self-reflection. Be like, what can I bring to the table to help Grong out? And just not only help Grong out, but maybe get myself more engaged into the process as well. Okay. You guys have any questions so far?
Oh, I have one. Do you think the person with the ult should be calling the ult? So like that window, for example, Sombra EMP?
I do. I would love it if you not only called that you have the ultimate, but when and where you wanted to use it. That would be great. But I'm also flexible, and I think that there's not a one size fits all when it comes to communication. So if Grong says, "Yo, we've got BAP window. What do you want to do with it?" Prime, Fury, excuse me. There you go, right? Maybe that there's this is what I want to use. I'm going to give you the opportunity to tell me how you want to use it. Because ultimately, like, Grong just is a tank player, right? It's not that smart, right? So you gotta tell where you want your ultimate use and how you want it to be used. Even in the Overwatch League, the more democratic the communication, the better the team usually. And I think that's something they aim for even at a diamond level. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right.
That's like a drive-by. What the hell?
Yeah. Listen, you're a tank player. You got to be used to it at this point, especially with the castmate changes.
Yeah.
All right. Here's what I would suggest. I suggest that we just get into some gameplay right now, and we talk about our communication as we go through the gameplay. You guys down for that?
Yeah.
All right. What code do you guys want to start with? Because we might have time for a couple.
We agreed for Rialto, yeah.
Rialto, I think. Yeah. Here, I'll
Alright.
give you this.
Drop it in my... Thank you. I will stream. You'll enjoy all 720, 30 frames per second. Cinema. What is that? Scores meme, Cinema. All right. Now, you guys talk about spam being your best composition, or range, or, whatever the case may be. Now, I'm going to ask you guys a question, because this is one other little point that I wanted to bring up. Part of you guys said that you feel like this is your comfort composition because part of it is it's easier to set your feet in the sand and just blast them, right? But my other question is this also because this lines up more with your hero strengths? Tank, DPS, support.
I know that it does for our DPS.
Okay.
And all the way up until we get to high diamond, we easily out mechanic pretty much everybody we scrim. So poke tends to go really well for us.
Okay, makes sense. But as soon as things start to become more divey and brawly, things get messy.
Yeah, it gets a little messier.
Okay, makes sense. Now, do you guys have the hero pools? And I don't want any hesitation here, yes or no, to play a variation at least of a diver brawl comp comfortably.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's just not working in execution.
Yeah.
Okay, that's worth pointing out because I am of the opinion that you should always play to your hero's strengths. I do agree that it's probably worth picking up another hero if you guys get the chance, like what She Prime was saying. But I do think that trying to play to your strengths whenever you can is good. So that's interesting. Okay, now how do you guys play this composition in this matchup fundamentally? How does your composition win?
We spam them before they can get in.
Brilliant. Okay, and then what happens when they get in?
We either need to back up or pray that we're just that much better than them, or die fast.
Right. Okay. Sounds good. Now, when you're talking about doing more damage to them and hitting them before they get on top of you, how do you do that?
Abilities. We can back up if they're taking too much space too quickly.
Sure. Sure.
And take
that's
angles.
never
Ooh,
like the ideal. Yeah,
that's my word. Thank you. I sleep at night with a love letter to angles underneath my pillow. Okay. That was one of the creepiest things I think I've ever said in a coaching session. Okay, so yeah, basically, now, why are angles so important? Because why not talk more about it? Why are they important? And by the way, I'm going to ask questions that you guys might not know the answers to, but that's why I'm asking them.
I'm honestly gonna say to probably create a kill box.
Okay, what is a kill box?
An area that if the other team walks into it, you're pretty much dominating that space.
Now, why do angles enable your kill box to be more lethal?
Fire from more than one angle.
So why does more than one angle matter?
So they can't focus in one direction. They
yeah,
can't dive in one direction.
Yes.
I think it's easy to overwhelm them because then
It
they have to think of one angle and then think of the next at the same time.
It's as much strategic as it is psychological, right? But definitely. Like think about even this kill right here from the legend Crispy. How does Crispy get this kill? Is this Tracer thinking about avoiding spam from the right side? Or the Ashe, I
Div,
guess.
sorry.
See, I'm expecting Tracer. It's not, no, the Ashe. I mean, where is this Ashe focused on, right? Pretty obvious, right? She's focused on what's happening main. Now, very important reason why to use angles, but remember the reason that we're looking at this is not just strategic, but also communication, right? So if I am critiquing communication, who is really the only person that needs to be calling anything right now?
Me, tank.
What would you be
Then-
calling?
Current target.
Okay.
We're focusing.
Perfect. But let me ask you a question. Does everybody focus firing the monkey right now crucial?
No.
No,
Why not?
because he can get healed, and that's alt charge for their
Okay.
Ana.
Well, you're overthinking it a little bit.
And,
Is this Winston
Also,
kill?
it's
Is
just
this Winston
easier to
killable?
poke a squishy.
Yeah,
True.
he's not gonna die. He's got
Right.
hard cover.
Right. So it's not like that important. Right now, we just need general pressure. So I'm gonna ask you guys a question again. Who should be calling, if anything, right now?
Me?
It's on Discord.
Who's me?
Crispy.
Okay. Why, Crispy?
Because these are easier targets to kill, and since we're playing poke, it's easy for our like other DPS to spam
Sure.
in that direction and
Sure.
then finish off
Sure.
kills easily.
Once again, you're giving me phenomenal answers that are so complicated, you're dead wrong. All right? Crispy, you're making a play. You're making a play right now. Right? You see what you're doing? You're making a play. What is everybody else doing right now? On a slumber party, right?
Yeah.
Right? And that's fine. I'm not saying what you guys are doing is wrong. It's the correct play. But also, so is Crispy's. So the only person that should be communicating right now, at least like calling stuff, is Crispy, because she is making a play. And we need this play to work, because who's taking risks right now?
Crispy.
Crispy, right? Who's got the highest risk but also the highest reward? Crispy.
Crispy.
Is Crispy doing the thing that she should be doing? Yes, she is.
Yes.
So we need to be helping Crispy, right? So actually, if we're focusing on monkey, no. Crispy, okay? Crispy needs to know that we're playing around right now. And you're going to notice that's a pattern, not just because Crispy is Crispy and hits 2 phenomenal shots, but anybody that's making a play, with an ultimate or without an ultimate, they get the space that they need to communicate. You see what I'm saying? See, this is why it's the problem when you guys said that Grong stops talking, because Grong isn't the only playmaker on the battlefield. There's 4 other playmakers. In fact, you could make a good argument that a lot of the times it's going to be more of your DPS calling plays than your tank half the time. But if those DPS or supports, basically the same thing as DPS, right, aren't calling, then your playmaking capability isn't cut in half. It's cut by 80%. And that's why you guys might be having issues. You guys don't need to be calling more. You just need more people calling. You guys see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Very important distinction here, because this is a great play. I see a DPS at an angle and I'm in love. However, that person needs help. They need, like, because we can see it right there. There's the risk. You guys are prepared. Nice job. But I hope Crispy was calling that. I don't know if Crispy was calling that. I'm sure Crispy was calling that. Now,
Yes.
what should be called right now? Because this goes with what we really wanted to call earlier.
Break bubble.
Break bubble! Winston, screw the guy! Get him! Like, he's done. Call him out. Line up. Target focus, guys. Target focus. Why?
Because he's used his cooldowns.
Yeah. Who's making a play in the enemy team right now?
They're Winston.
Winston. So now he's the target priority. Now we could split focus. We could be shooting Brig at the same time with our Ashe. That's fine. But for most of us, let's try and shoot that Winston down. That's kind of the idea there, right? And ironically, why does the Brig die first? Because
They overextend.
everybody's focusing on the Winston. Why is everybody focusing on the Winston? With my, excuse me, by everybody I mean my Ana, because my Winston's getting like absolutely murked. So my Ana's focusing on keeping the Winston up, and she's too slow to keep our Brig up. Nice job, guys. Okay, so is all this making sense so far?
Yes.
Notice we're kind of weaving in compositional goals with communication, but it all revolves around making plays, and whoever's making a play is making a call. Okay. Oh. Now, is that a lack of communication, or does Crispy just get smoked?
I just got smoked because all the damage just came from like three different directions.
I think so too. You were getting supported. It sounded like you were communicating, or either that or your supports are really sweating. You just got smoked. That's all there is to it. We don't need to overthink it. We can go next. Now, again, though, I'm making an assumption that's very nicely encouraging you. Crispy had better have been calling that play, and if she wasn't, then you guys need to send some really angry Discord messages over to Crispy. Now, if Crispy is calling and Crispy doesn't get the support, then she will be sending angry messages to you. All right, that's kind of how this works. And so what this does is this helps you guys to decide, okay, what do we need? A little bit more personal responsibility, not to put the pressure on here, but when somebody's not calling, we don't have to be vague. You know, oh, we need more people calling. Who needs to be calling there, right? Like right now, for example, who needs to be calling?
Me? Or actually,
No.
Storm. He's making a much more of a player right now.
Okay, so this is a trick question. I baited you. Get rolled.
We need support.
Support should be calling.
Why are the supports? Are the supports making a play? No, but why should the supports be calling?
They're anti.
Yeah.
Wait. Flip it on its head, guys. This is the inception moment.
Yeah,
of this
no,
VOD reveal.
Anna's right there. She's right in.
This is the inception moment. The supports are not making a play, but a play is being made on them. So they need to be calling. Do you hear what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do you see what this Anna just freaking did? Okay. Hey guys, if your supports call this, not only did they live, but the Anna dies. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So when we're talking about communication, you also, if you see an opportunity to make something, call it. But you also need to be communicating if somebody is doing something crazy on you. Does that make sense? Yeah. And really, mid-fight communication, and even pre-fight communication to an extent, really just, that's all it really boils down to. What do we want to do, guys? What are they doing, guys? And that's it. Really, that's really all it is. Now, once things settle, once again, who can be communicating right now? Not super clear, but who do you guys think? Kind of tough, isn't it? Why?
Nobody's really making a play.
Right. Now, is that a problem? Do we need to make a play right now?
No.
Not really. No. I think we have good positions. We've got good angles. We don't really need to. But I want you to pay very close attention to the numbers at the top left of your screen. What do you guys see?
We are significantly closer to ults than they are.
So what does that mean? And so who needs to be communicating right now? 3 people, maybe 4 people need to be communicating right now. Who are those people?
Gron, Crispy, Storm, and G-Flow.
Ah, you're so smart. Yes, exactly. So, and when do they need to be communicating? 10 seconds from now? 15 seconds from now? 20 seconds from now?
RN, right now.
Right now. Why?
So we can start making plans.
Right, so this is what's going to happen. Gron's going to be like, I got flux! And he's going to miss every single shot for the next 25 seconds and choke. No, but really, no. But yeah, that's exactly. We want to call. Accurate. We want to call now. Right now. Okay, what are we calling right now? You guys just see what just happened? I don't know if you guys just saw that.
Nano.
They just nanoed.
So what's the play? So are we making a play right now? No, but a play is being made on us. So I don't know if the call is back or kite or care or care me or whatever, guys. I don't care what you guys call. But yes, that's it. So let's survive. Rock doesn't quite hit, but she's too far away. We should be good to go. And now I know Storm is shrieking, God, give me, I've got dragon. Ah, close. By the way, G-Flow, I didn't know you played BAP. Your BAP has looked pretty decent so far. I promise that was like the worst timing for that compliment ever, but I did actually mean that.
Yeah, you just by the way, I didn't know you played that hero.
Yeah. First time, really? Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
It doesn't show at all now.
That's good. Yeah. I would never have guessed that this was like. Okay. But yeah. Okay. So now what needs to be communicated right now? Because this is where like so many teams mess up, right? Like, okay, guys, let's good job. It's okay. Let's get regroup. All right. Oh, Diva's up here. Diva, don't make sure. No, stop. Shut up. What should we be calling right now?
What ults we have compared to what ults they have and what our plans are.
Yes. Okay. So this is where people get really overwhelmed because it's like 10 times 4 times 3 times 12 times 2 times 7 times. It's just so many numbers all thrown around. Just stop.
432.
Thank you for that. That was good. Okay. What ults did they have that really, really, really matter? Let's be selective. What do you guys think?
Rally and Bob.
Bobson.
I would say Rally and Bob, probably.
Yeah.
I think Bomb will most likely be used as a remech, not particularly lethal. Pulse Bomb is definitely tricky. They don't have nano. I think Rally and Bob. Okay, so what do those ultimates mean? Let's just focus on the Rally. What does that mean for us?
That their supports are going to be harder to kill
Well, they
unless
also
we
have
pick
to be
them.
close. They
Right.
have to be
We don't
close.
want them to get close to us because if they do, we die. It's over. We die. Yeah. Okay. Now, what about us? Like we have a cornucopia going on over here, but let's be selective. Look at the situation. Look at the position. In theory, in advanced chemical strategy here, what's the best ultimate to use given the space that we have right now? There's a couple of options, but what do you guys think?
Bob and Flux.
Yeah. What else? Maybe Window
Mayhaps
too?
a Window.
Right?
Yeah.
A Dragon definitely doesn't feel like super cash money, right? Just given the fact of the position that we have. But yeah, I think one of those ults is fine. Now, this is the really important question, guys. Does it matter which one we use first?
Not typically, but it can.
It can, but let me put it to you guys this way. It doesn't matter enough to justify you guys spending like 6 years doing calculus in your brains between fights just to not come up with a fight plan because you're trying to think of the perfect one. A Window, Bob, or Flux, or for crying out loud, guys, a Dragon is fine here. Just make a play. You guys got me? That's the priority here. So who should be communicating right here? You know what? Grant, would you feel most comfortable calling for the ultimate that you want to see used? Would that be the okay? So let's start with that. Let's not get democratic, y'all. Let's find somewhere between like the People's Republic of China and the Netherlands. All right. So let's say Grant says this is what we're doing, okay? And you call the ultimate. What ultimate would you call here, Grant?
Flux for sure, and then probably Bob.
Okay, so Flux, you call the Flux, and then Crispy calls the Bob. So Crispy, if you know that you're going to be bobbing, let's say in the next 15 seconds, is there anywhere you want to be positioned, or you just think generically high ground is probably fine?
Probably high ground.
Yeah, seems good to me. So let's just do it, guys. Just Flux and the Bob. GG's. Now they might throw a wrench into our plans, but if we just go. There's the Flux.
Big.
Okay. Now what, guys?
We have their team split. We should be aggressing on that Ashe and Ana.
But don't forget our plan.
Yeah, with the Bob.
Right. Use the Bob, see what happens. Ah, you guys are geniuses. Love it. Now, let's see what happens. Okay, I gotta see this. This may be one of the most Rambo things I've ever seen in a scrimmage. You're crazy.
Baller.
You're crazy. Yeah. That is a real gangster move right there.
That is
what
we would call storm things.
So you know what, guys? Here's what I'm gonna be honest with y'all. This fight is a total mess because you whiffed Flux and you're. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I hate to be this guy, but I'm gonna be this guy. Crispy, you're cracked, but you need your coach coming back to high ground.
Yeah.
You need your coach coming back to high ground, and then also, preferably, even if we do go Rambo mode, we need to try and find a way to create some distance between ourselves and the enemy team, right? Take some angles. Don't get too caught up in the middle of the mess, right? I think the biggest thing here is that we just get a little bit too messy with our setup. We give up the high ground for no reason, and so we lose. So let's put it this way, guys. If we're being objective here, how did our planning and plan execution look?
Our planning looked pretty spotless, and then our execution kind of not so much.
Right. So it's really easy.
Kind of noodly.
Yeah, it's really easy to go into that thinking, planning, we got to work on our communication, guys. But at least from an outsider's perspective, without hearing comms, looked okay. Not too bad. Now, let's play this game again. Obviously, Rally, maybe Nano. You know what, guys? We don't even track Nano. We're not that good. We track Rally. All right, how do we win this fight? Go on, what do you call it?
Window. Probably Window.
Okay, G-Flow. What do you think? I'm interrupting you right there. So G-Flow, back window, where do you want to use it? How do you want to use it?
Right there.
Okay, works for me. So what are they going to do, guys? You know it, right? You can feel it in your heart.
They're going to DM it and back the fuck up.
Right, or
Or just run right through it.
Right, and then what Grong? So without overcomplicating the plan here, let's again limit it to 2 ultimates. You're gonna window into what? You got options.
Window into them, and then if they run into us, we're gonna trance.
Sure. Okay. What other option do we have?
We do have a dragon online.
We do. You do. So it could be as simple as this. Let's window, dragon if you see a chance, trance if you see a chance. That's it. Let's see what happens. Roll the dice. The thing that you guys need to be aiming for here is freedom through simplicity. You need basic structure of what works best for you guys, consistently practice it, and then just let the details sort themselves out. Do not go into this and be like, well, we actually need a BAP 1-0 and an off angle and a dragon if they use the rally, but if they nano the rally, then we're... No. That just isn't going to happen in the middle of the match, right? Much less a scrim. So just play it out. Set a basic set of limits. Let's see what happens. Because we could look at last fight and be pleased with our planning. The only problem is that our execution was terrible. We whiffed our flex, our Ashe didn't go back to high ground, and our Hanzo Rambo'd and then proceeded to die. So, it wasn't great. App window is good, forces the rally. As long as we are able to react with trance here, we have a real chance to win this. Look at the discipline of that trance, but we see 9, and we don't trance. That's it. That's all it is. Now, Fury... You're giving us flex support's a bad name. What do you think here?
I mean, I should have used it.
Why? What are you saving trance for?
I don't know.
Kind of see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know why I didn't use it.
This is why communication and individual responsibility is really important. Do you guys remember the non-negotiables little catchphrase I had earlier? This is one of those non-negotiables. You must know what you're doing with your trance before it happens. I don't care if you're like, I'm going to go hard flank, and then they're going to all look at me, and then I'm going to trance. I don't give a rip. I don't care if you say, I'm not using trance until they use graph. I don't give a rip. If that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. But you look at the situation right here, and you're like, all right, well... Unless you were like, I'm saving it for Nano Diva, who's going to int me, that's fine. But I don't think that's what was happening. So this is a missed opportunity, right?
I think I missed... I don't know if I just forgot that they used... Because I would use it for Bob, most likely. And I guess I didn't know that they used it somehow.
Makes sense. But that so then there's 2 potential errors in here. Either a poor ult track, or people not listening to ult track, or maybe a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Right? It's usually nothing fancy. Just the basics. Just do the basics. If you guys just trance this and hold point, you guys easily win this fight. Easily. In fact, I think you guys might win this fight anyway, but just obviously not in any meaningful manner. Okay, let's get a look at a little bit more. And so now we should be able to get like really book this through, right? It should be really easy now. This 3rd time through. Wrong. What do we got? We got Nano. How do we win this fight?
So they're gonna have Nano. I'm gonna have my Flex online soon, so. We can honestly play reactive with that Nano, either get a huge flex or flex their Nano.
Sure.
And then Dragon's the team when we get a chance.
Sure. Let me open up the door for one other little detail here. Grong is the one that's going to call the ults he wants to use. However, there's another way of doing this. Storm, you here, right? Do you see a dragon angle?
I mean, you can go in the room on the right and dragon behind them when they push in.
Sure, you could. Okay, let's just say that that's the best dragon setup in the history of the universe and you really want to use it. If the fight is over and you guys have an idea or a plan that you want to use, that's where, and Grong, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think Grong would care if you called that.
I have no problem with that.
Okay, so that's fine by him. That should be something that you look for. So we have a very set structure of Grong calls the ults that we want to use. But if you see an opportunity, which by the way, guys, is something that we've already relied on to win a fight earlier. Do you remember Crispy? You think Grong called this? You know what I'm saying? Grong's not that smart.
I have no idea what's happening.
So you're still catching strays. So sorry.
I know.
But but basically, no. But it doesn't have to be, as soon as ultimates are online, only listen to the tank. No, see an opportunity, use it. Because that's going to be the most helpful thing. So what we have is at a base structure, Grong will make sure something is called, and you guys tell us how to use it. He's going to give you the kick in the pants. But maybe you don't need the kick in the pants. Maybe you see an opportunity that you want to use it. So here, we could dragon. Here, we could play slow and build flux reactively to their Nano. We could trance whenever we see an opportunity. I'm flexible. Let's see what happens. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to be a little bit ugly. I'm going to, based off of what I see, I'm going to tell you whether you communicated or not. I don't know if that's accurate or not, but I'm going to guess. They might just reset here, though. Okay, yeah, they're going to reset. Same kind of plan going in this fight. Okay. Who should be calling right now? Who should be calling? Who should be calling?
Me.
You don't need to be, by calling, I don't mean guys, hi, 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 hi. Like, that's not calling. Just say, hey, pocket me. That's it. Just one thing. Care of me, right? Or look at me. You know, anything. I want to take this angle. That's fine. Because again, you're absolutely abusing these guys. This is fine. Like, this D.Va's gonna dive you. You're just gonna coach gun out with double pocket. You'll be fine, right? This is a good angle. But I hope to goodness that you were calling for the resources that you need. It's what your team needs.
I think so, because then I get like anti in one fight, and then I think G-Flow like puts out lamp for me.
Yeah, there's a lamp. You got kind of low right there. You got like half HP D.Va on top of you, and you get the lamp there, and you got Harmony Orb. That's good. That's good. Now, was that all needed? I don't know, but that's not really what I'm concerned about. Like, you guys can work on your individual play, but at least this is showing me that my supports are awake, and Crispy is, at least in theory, talking. Nice. Let's keep going. I hope to goodness that during this all mess that we haven't forgot what we wanted with Flux, or Dragon, or Trance, or, you know, fill in the blank. There it is. Flux hits Ana, prevents follow-up. Dragon is eaten. Now, the real question is, was this planned? Kind of looks like it was. You guys remember?
I know I called for Flux. I have no idea for anything after that.
Storm?
It might have just been for Flux, and at this point, I had realized that I'd been holding Dragon for the whole fucking game. And decided, well, at least I can help out a little bit.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I am going to cut you
I
some
just didn't
slack.
call it.
That's fine. I'm going to cut you some slack here because it's Dragon. You know, it's not like, oh, a very easy ultimate to use. It's a little bit like Pole Spawn, too. Like, sometimes you see an opportunity, you just got to go. It's a hard one to set up. But just something to keep in mind. Even if you're like, guys, I'm going to use Dragon this fight, I just don't know when. Make it a surprise, you know? That could be helpful. Okay. Regardless, feels good. A little bit late on the trance again, but, you know, having lamp there, you got bursted there. Okay. Good peel on the brig. Again, playmaking here, right? Like, we got to look at this fight and be like, guys, just because things have devolved to crap, it doesn't mean plays aren't happening. Where are the plays happening right now, guys? Where are the plays happening?
Our Ashe is dueling the brig.
Ashe is dueling a brig.
Their Ashe.
Who is making a play right now? Who is making a play?
Their brig.
Their brig. Their brig. If she kills your Ashe, you have lost this fight. I promise you. It's over. If you prevent her from killing their Ashe, you win this fight. It's over. I promise you. That is a guarantee. Not actually a guarantee. But in theory, that's going to be your best chances of winning. And sure enough, as soon as we're able to peel our Ashe lives, we win the fight. Nice job, guys. That's the type of mid-fight communication. When you guys talk about target focus, who's making a play? Who's getting played upon, right? Who's getting played, guys? This is high school all over again, right? So you need to find out what the answer is to that, figure it out, and you're good to go. Does all this make sense?
Yeah.
Now, we could smash our heads into this VOD for the rest of the duration if you guys want, or we can move on to later team fights, or a different VOD. You guys...
I think we play dive on attack.
Yeah, I'd really like to do our first dive on Rialto, just because I want to work on my monkey.
Sure.
We usually play poke on attack as well.
You guys are practicing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good. Smart. That's you guys got it. Being comfortable and willingly putting yourself into a bad situation is really gutsy, and it's also smart. I respect the crap out of that. Good on you guys. Now,
jump in real quick if I can ask a question,
please.
Just to keep in your mind. So, Fury and I, we do run the dive a lot, but on these maps that we don't run the dive, we have trouble of learning where to position and how to get there the easiest way without one of us dying.
Yes.
So on this one, I think we have a hard time of, should we play left side, right side, behind the box? Should we do this? Should we do that?
Okay. I'm gonna blow your minds, all right? Because that's a great question, all right? What is your advantage versus these compositions? What does dive composition do, guys?
It moves pretty quickly.
Okay. Well, what does that mean?
We can move in fast to burst and isolate targets.
Sure. Now, we have a little bit of a problem, ladies and gentlemen. We don't have an isolated target. So, how do you guys beat this composition?
Take space and take
Axe-
angles.
Oh, angles again. I'm gonna sleep well tonight. Okay. Yeah. Okay. What else? What does taking space mean?
So we need to claim more space for ourselves, so it's easier for our supports and, well, I guess not in this case our DPS, but our supports to be more safe and support us better.
What space matters? Now, again, by the way, guys, this is very difficult to understand, but I promise you it's worth the effort. So don't expect, this is not, if this is making you feel a little bit stupid, good. Don't be surprised. What do you guys think? What space matters? What do you mean set up your supports?
I guess
Fury,
the space that
I'm gonna interrupt. Fury, what do you think?
Sorry, what was the question? Like, how
Where do you want to
I
be?
don't.
Look at their comp. Where is safe to peek as an Ana on the floor? I have a trick question. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not really much of anything. Okay. So
No.
I'm gonna ask you. Look at your comp. Pretend you're not dive. If I'm playing Winston, how do I beat a Zenyatta? How do I beat an Ashe? How do you win? How do you get value?
either having more resources than them.
Sure, you're thinking too esoterically. You're thinking
You
like
just
it's a
get in
college class.
close.
You get in close and you zap them with your monkey gun. Ooh hoo ha ha. Okay. You must like devolve your IQ to grow your IQ here. All right.
Got you.
You just want to get on top of them, and that is it. If I'm playing Sombra, I want to get on top of them, and that is it. If I'm playing Tracer, I want to get on top of them, and that is it. It's not an innuendo. It's just exactly what I want to do with a hero. I need to get on top of them, close the distance so that the sniper heroes do not shoot me in the head, right? You guys just saw it earlier how difficult it was when you were able to keep them at arm's distance. And when they closed the distance, you lost. You guys need to close the distance. Now, why are you guys playing Brig? This isn't a passive-aggressive question. This is a legitimate question. What does Brig provide here?
Anti-dive.
We realized that, like, when you asked us the questions, what are we lacking on? We realized that I should have swapped right when we saw that they didn't have anything to threaten our Ana, but I did not. We forced it, and that is why we did not do well.
I respect it, and I think you're correct. The Brig is definitely not a strong swap here. What should you have swapped to?
What I did swap to, I don't know if it's the right call, was a Zenyatta.
Zenyatta's okay. Then basically you're saying, okay, well, we're gonna poke you out and dive you too. Sure.
Yeah.
Now
I think Lucio would be pretty good too.
Why?
It helps me get in.
Get out.
Yeah, close the distance, right? Sound familiar, right? Now, let me ask you a question. G-Flow. If you had a Sombra up here hacking, a Tracer up here shooting, an Ana up here nading, and a Winston bubble, could you go Rambo and just start beating the crap out of these guys with your flail?
I would. Am I up there already?
You are. You've teleported. Congratulations.
Then yeah, I could.
Yeah. Okay. That is how you play Brig and to spam. It is not necessarily a possibility all the time, but the threat of you getting up and close to a squishy is what allows you to do this. Now, I want you guys to bear with me, all right? Here's what you're gonna do. I'm gonna hold your hand for the first step, and then you guys are gonna have to do it afterwards, all right? You're gonna push cart till about here. Maybe with your Tracer, maybe your Winston uses bubble, you hard pocket, I don't know. It's gonna be ugly, all right? You get it to about here. You're gonna rotate your squishies in through this door, all right? And then up, bash, whatever to get to here, all right? Your Winston's gonna come with you, and he's gonna 3, 2, 1 jump up here with your Sombra already on an off angle set up, and your Tracer already coming up with you guys. We're gonna have people coming up the stairs, Tracer on a Brig, Sombra set up behind maybe here for a hack, and Winston jumps from this position here. Bubble, hack, Tracer blinks upstairs, Brig bashes upstairs, Ana does a bank nade off the ceiling and walks upstairs with cover of Winston bubble, and you guys beat the ever-living crap out of them.
Makes sense. See, that ain't even crossed my mind.
So the reason that your supports are having trouble is your supports are playing over here,
back,
where your advantage, you're playing like you're playing versus a diver brawl comp, where the advantage of Ana is her sniper gun. But do you know what? They have better sniper guns. So Ana's advantage is actually the ability to get up close and land a big nade or land a big sleep dart. There's a dynamic to the hero that you have to leverage. Brig is a great anti-dive hero, but you know what else she's really good at? She's good at hitting people with a hammer over and over again. Okay? Dive doesn't matter here, but hitting people with a hammer would be great. You see what I'm saying, guys?
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, the Luce would be a good choice because it would not only allow you to speed your Winston, actually it'd be allowed to speed your Ana faster to get into position, and then do the exact same Brawl thing here. So I guess for you guys, it's all about how can we close the distance on these guys without taking too much damage. Now, I've kind of spoon-fed you the answer just a little bit, but I want you guys to now interpret what you guys think about now. Oh, by the way, good luck landing an 8 versus this, but yeah. I mean, seriously, like it's essentially impossible. Now, you guys can see that this is going to be really hard because every time that you guys dive, even if your Sombra gets a good angle, your Tracer gets a good angle, and your Winston avoids taking damage, why will you guys always fail?
The Ana can't shoot through a shield.
The Ana does nothing. The Brig does nothing. And it's not because these heroes are bad necessarily, although I do agree Brig is probably not the best hero, but that they're not playing to their strengths versus what you're seeing. You guys see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now this is where I'm going to add one more layer of nuance. Let's actually get like a little good frame here, okay? Right. Oh, that's what
I don't mean to interrupt, but I gotta go.
Please interrupt. Thank you so much for joining.
Crispy.
Bye,
Thank
Crispy.
you.
Phenomenal
Crispy.
shots on Ash.
Bye.
Cheers.
Thank you. Bye.
So the main takeaway is that you guys need to do a better job thinking about how does my hero provide value in this matchup. Not in a complicated fashion of like what's the best advanced detailed off. Just what does my hero do? Why am I playing this hero? And if you're not sure, think of a solution and try it. You've got nothing to lose. If G-Flow tries Brig this entire match and feeds brains out, but you learn something from it, perfect. Doesn't matter. That's what scrims are for, right, guys?
Yeah.
Does all this make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's I'm gonna try to see if there's any fights where we get something closer to a real contribution. I mean, even this is okay because it feels like my Brig is leveraging cart, right? That's something that Brig can do, kind of, right? That being said, I don't want to overanalyze this because, and I'm gonna say this as respectfully as I can. You guys are playing 3v5, and it's nothing to do with your supports being bad, but that you're just playing without them at all. That's pretty much all it is. Let's just keep skipping through a little bit. I mean, you guys can pretty much see it now, right? Now, I will say, there's a reason why people play spam. Even Overwatch, like, people play more spammier style comps in this map because Rialto is pretty darn good for spam, right? You guys are seeing the problems with it, right? But there's always a solution. And if you guys wanted to play a dive in this map, you could make it work. Well, let's see if we actually get some space here. Okay, we got some space. Sombra's on an angle. Tracer's here. Winston's about to dive. What should my Brig be doing, in theory, cautiously, carefully, right now?
Walking forward.
Walking forward and doing what?
Hitting the SIG.
Hitting the SIG. Now, you got to be really careful, but you could hit the SIG. Here's another thing that you could be doing. I want you guys to get really cute. What's the problem with Fury's positioning right now? What can SIG do to shut off Fury's positioning?
Shielder.
Okay, what else? That's the main one, but what else?
Suck.
Eater.
Shoot, suck, rock, everything. Where could Fury be? Fury, you tell me.
High ground.
High ground.
Yeah. High ground. Oh, watch this. You go high ground. I'm gonna get so big brain, you guys are gonna love this. Ana goes here. What can Brig do from this positioning?
Whip shot and protect.
Watch this.
And armor pack.
Oh, you guys are being way too passive.
You could dive the Zen.
Bash
She can just
across
bash up there and beat the shit out of that Ash.
And the Zen, but also go. Oh, nice off angle you got there,
front
Ash. Goodbye. And you won't kill her, but you'll make her drop. And Ash drops. She's doing less damage. You've protected your team. And then the next dive, you get the rally. You go. It's like a. You go 3, 2, 1. You know what I'm saying? Sound effects included for free. You know, that's what we're looking for. All right, that's what we're looking for. My Ana doesn't need the help. if she's safe. There's nothing like you could kind of zone the Sigma, but the only reason that my Ana needs help versus the Sigma is because my Ana's mispositioned. My brick should be free to go in. And again, you know, maybe Lucia would be better, maybe a Kiriko would be better, or something like that. But you know, that's all it is. Okay. Let's look at one more, and then we will maybe go to another map. I don't know how much time you guys have. I don't mind going a little bit over if you guys have the time.
We will take everything you'll give us.
Okay.
Yep. I'll be right back.
Take your time. Now, Sombra's getting spy check. Poor Crispy. Oh no. Okay. I mean, it's just tough. Like at this point in the game, like things have gotten really out of hand. Let's try and find one more decent fight here. Okay. Now I want to tie this in with our planning discussion earlier, just so that we don't totally abandon that focus. Looking at this fight here, Bap window, Bob. All right. How do we win this fight?
EMP.
On who?
That takes out both of them, both Window and Bob.
It sure does. But are we going to wait for the window and Bob?
No, we go early.
You kind of see what I'm saying? It's tricky. It'd be nice to cut those out, but maybe we go just take what's given. Now, one little detail here. G-Flow, you're still here, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You said you saw it from Brig to Zen. Love it. What is your value with Zen in the dive? Because it definitely changes, doesn't it?
Yeah, Discord.
Yeah, Discord damage. Do you have to go balls to the wall? Get it? In this with this hero? No, you don't. You could do what we were talking about with Fury and just, you know, obviously be careful about peeking Hanzo, but when your Winston jumps in, just Discord spam value now.
Discord target.
Right. You still want to try to avoid that Sig Shield if you can, but we don't. Now your hero is, you could get value from range. You don't have to get all up in a T.
For sure, yeah.
Even in a dive comp, for example, like let's say you guys are playing an Ashe Tracer dive, right? You would be playing off of Winston Tracer, getting close, but Ashe may stay a little bit further away. Everybody plays to the hero's strengths. The reason why Ana and Brig needed to close the distance is because Ana and Brig couldn't do anything versus a Hanzo and a Sigma Shield at distance. But a Zen can, an Ashe can, a Hanzo. Like let's say you guys ran Widow dive. That happens all the time. Don't need your Widow playing SMG Widow, right? You can play to her strengths. Yeah. Okay. Let's see what happens. Oh. Good start. Real good start. Uh-oh. Oh no. Fast. Okay, surely we clean this up though, right? Oh no. So what do you guys think went wrong this fight? What do you guys think went wrong? Do you guys see anything wrong with your planning or execution?
Everybody's on a different target too.
Yes, I can't see anything. I can't participate at all.
We need to wait for our Ana, probably.
Elaborate, Fury.
This happens a lot when we play dive that I don't really get set up. So, like you said, if I had been on high ground or anywhere where I could see the fight that was going on,
so you choked.
Then our
2
monkey
fights
wouldn't
ago,
have died.
right? You screwed us. You sat on the floor. However, is this your fault here? Let me rewind a little bit.
No, I guarantee that I was.
Oh, it looks like you're walking forward. No?
We do communicate it to me, or communicate.
Yeah,
to each other that
we communicate.
Okay. Okay.
Not there. Ana's not there. Ana's not there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That would be something to take a look at, right? Because I do agree, Fury, you fumbled the bag a few fights ago, but I also don't know if you had a chance to do the right thing here. Right?
Yeah, I rarely get set up when we're attacking dive.
Okay. So then maybe it's a two-pronged approach, making sure that you are hustling more on your end, trying to set up when and where you can safely, and then that we also give you the respect to allow you time to set up, and that you feel comfortable calling wait if you're not set up. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Now you guys brought up an interesting point that you guys are on separate targets. What do you guys think of that? Let me ask you guys a question. Do we need tracer value to get kills off of this EMP?
No.
No. You're not in theory. Okay. Now, target focus matters up to the point to where the target dies. at which point it's no longer necessary. If a Winston Sombra plus if our Zenyatta and Ana were in position, that should be enough. That's it. Okay. What does the Tracer do that enables the play indirectly? Watch carefully. And I want you guys to pretend that this pulse bomb doesn't land.
Being an asshat mosquito.
What were we concerned about with the EMP? What ultimates did we want to cancel?
Bob and Window.
What ultimate is no longer a factor when the Ashe is looking this direction for, you know, the entire duration of Lawrence of Arabia?
Bob.
Yeah, there's no Bob. There's no Ashe damage, right? You've removed probably one of the most lethal threats on the battlefield, especially because she has ultimate from the battlefield, right? Now, as long as you time this pressure at the same time as we're looking to dive, maybe you're a little early, but in theory...
that is legit like my biggest issue. Like I've talked to coaching already about this. It's just like my timing on Tracer needs to be worked on.
Have you considered electric shock therapy?
I have, but I can't afford it.
Okay. Has the team considered electric shock? No, okay. No, but really though, I don't think necessarily being on different targets is a bad thing as long as the other target is splitting attention on the follow-up, right? Distracting the Batiste, for example, would be a very legitimate thing to do at this point in time, or the Hanzo, or the Ashe. As long as the people that are focusing these targets are all on the same target, and that looks to be the case, right? You can even see the Sombra transitions to shoot the Zen instead, right? You guys see this? This is what we want to see, right?
Yeah.
Not everybody has to be in the same target, but as long as that target dies, we could be focusing on playing to our strengths. For example, one of the biggest mistakes that I see from Tracer players in some metas is that in playing versus Ramatras, I would see a lot of Tracer players shoot the Ramatra. And I would always be like, stop doing that. And I'd ask them, why are you shooting the Ramatra that's blocking? You're doing no damage to him. And the answer would always be, well, my team was calling Ramatra. You guys see where I'm going with this, right?
Yeah.
What should be the Tracer shooting instead?
Anyone healing the Ramatra?
Anyone healing the Ramatra. Shoot the Bat, make him look at you. Shoot the Moira, make her look at you, right? Get the heat, because you will do more damage indirectly. So just a small little nuance there. But yeah, long story short, the big takeaway here is great pulse bomb, great target focus. Where the frick are my supports? You guys got to give them time at least to walk forward a little bit. Or my supports, you guys have to take positions to where you have better LOS. Make sense? Because this fight is lost because my Tracer kind of trolls, obviously. But also, my Winston gets no help. And these guys don't die fast enough. My Ana and Zen are there. We win this fight handily. Make sense? Okay,
Yeah.
and that's the non-negotiable, right? We haven't talked about very many non-negotiables. Ultimates and being in position to make a play. If you are not in position, I want you letting out a blood-curdling scream. Wait for me. Wait. Call it. It's one of the most important calls you can make is to say no. Are we ready? No. Wait. Very important call. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. And then that's that. I got a little bit more time. Do you guys want to look at a little bit of another matchup? I'm down for whatever.
I'm down.
Yeah, what
Right.
do you guys want to do?
What map we thinking?
The other one was New Bonnie that we were thinking about.
You guys
Oh,
are crazy.
shit.
Oh, new Bonnie.
That's also dive, though.
Yeah.
I'd rather watch something else.
A Brawl one?
Anything
Yeah.
with
You
the
can do some
body.
Brawl if you want.
Do we have a King's Row code?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
do
we
have
do.
a King's Row.
We have King's Row and we have Lijiang.
Well, we should
We
go over
fucking
King's
suck at
Row
King's
for
Row.
100 times because we still
King's Row.
suck at King's Row.
Any
This
guesses
is a
as
good
to why
King's
you
Row.
still suck at King's Row?
We don't use
I have
corners.
an idea.
Okay.
We don't use corners.
Corners.
Could be.
Corners.
Like, what do you mean? Like cover or like fight locations? Like this is where we're fighting.
Both.
Ah, okay.
I think that, and we also have
Wait.
we have somewhat of a lack of like
Oh, wait.
figuring out when fights are done. Like,
Like,
Yeah,
it's not
that
working,
too.
struggle on
sadly.
figuring it out.
Uh-oh.
There's,
All right, I'm just
uh-oh.
going for a quick smoke. I'll be right back.
Hold
You're
on.
fine.
No way this thing doesn't work.
No kings?
No, wait. Hold
No
on.
scrims row.
No scrimmies
How
row.
unfortunate.
Most
Hold on,
common
yeah, I was gonna
scrims
say-
of all time.
Yeah, we're bad at it because we play it so much.
Yeah, that's always how it works. Smash your head up against the wall over and over. Work smarter, not harder.
Here.
The
I'm
key
not gonna lie.
solution.
Like mid row.
Okay, wait.
It's not even that good. It's not even that good.
It has its downsides for sure that some people are willing to ignore. I think first point is quite enjoyable. Second and third point has
First point's fine.
a lot of
Yeah.
issues. Okay. Well, guys, are we looking at Lijiang Brawl? Is that what you guys want to look at?
Sure.
You guys sound
Uh,
unsure.
We usually play Crispy, me and Crispy on this, so me and Swag. I think I instinctively like we usually have a SMTP, so we move faster here.
Yeah.
And
But I like the Junkrat. I want to see the Junkrat, guys.
I do too.
The Junkrat unironically is not pro meta, but okay.
It should be. He's
okay,
kinda
can I be
awesome.
honest? Can I be honest? He's been played a couple of times in like the last year in Overwatch League and Contenders on this map. So even just a couple times, it tells you it's probably pretty good. I actually like the Junkrat.
That's what I've been saying. Junkrat is a skill
Junkrat
character.
is pretty good. He's pretty good in this first fight too. Like I'm telling
Let's
you.
not go that far, Storm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's a line. Okay, I mean this is fine. You guys just get the choke first. Your Junkrat gets positions. They don't have a Mei. GG's. How did you guys use your Mei wall here? Oh yeah, that's great. Now, honest question. This might be a good little Brawl tidbit here. What's the Mei wall for?
Isolate a target.
Isolate a target.
Well,
Isolate a
do
target
what?
or defensively.
Okay.
Or alternatively, you can use it to block LOS on like supports.
Sure,
or...
sure. Because like okay, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. This guy's an idiot. Okay, I don't know what he's doing. Right? He should be over here, right? Okay, but
We have that in common.
but honest question: if you split off the Batiste here and just focus the Reinhardt, is that Reinhardt going to die before that Mei wall breaks?
Yes.
Yes.
He can if I pin him.
Could maybe. You guys are too eager to say yes. The honest answer, to be honest, most of the times is maybe, but it's not a guarantee. So what's the purpose of the Mei wall?
Get resources out.
Right. What do you think is going to happen when that Reinhardt gets walled? What is he going to do?
He's going to hold shield and his BAP will press the E.
Right. So how much damage is your Reinhardt in your backline taking?
Ours are theirs.
Very little.
Ours.
Oh, yeah. Almost
zero.
not.
Right. Basically nothing. Okay. What's going to happen to his shield?
His shield will be melted.
What's going to happen to their BAP cooldowns? You just said it, right?
Yeah, he's going to use all of
Right.
them.
What's going to happen to that Cassidy's... I mean, honestly, guys, his clip, right? He's going to roll fan roll, right? Maybe. That's
Yeah.
going to be his entire clip. Get caught reloading. What's that Junkrat's going to happen to his mines? His shift?
It's going to have less.
Yeah, he's probably
least
going to
one.
use one at least to try and break that wall. You know, if they have a Mei, she's going to be like panicking, right? Again, that's what the Mei wall does. And so then you get control of this area. All right, we win space. That wonderful concept that we say, but we don't know what it means. Okay, what does it actually mean that you guys hold this position here? What does it mean? You force a lot of cooldowns. You've gotten a lot of skills out. Maybe you guys can't run in there and kill them, but what now? Let's say that they don't die here. What now?
We have a substantial resource advantage.
So what's the point of having a resource advantage? What do you do with it?
We can use them to get aggressive and to make more plays.
Sure. Or, so for example, you guys could rush in here with your extra HP, shield HP, BAP shift, BAP lamp, and so on, right?
Mhm.
Or, what else could you do? Because pushing in there might be suicide, even though you have a resource advantage, right?
Yeah.
What else could you do?
Rotate to point, take it for free.
Sure could. In fact, you could not even rotate to point. You could just sit in the white room and be like, huh, we want it. Get rolled. Because now for them to retake white room, what do they have to do?
Use more resources.
They have to use it. They have to do it again. They have to walk into another Mei wall. You see, if you have a resource advantage, you can hold space. Let's put it this way. If you have a lot of money, you buy a lot of land. You buy a lot of land, you get a lot richer off of the land that you control. It snowballs. You guys ever play Monopoly?
Yeah, like
The strategy in Monopoly is like, I'm pretty sure, is that you just basically buy every land that you land on. That's the kind of like the gimmick of the game once you figure it out. Is like there's not really a lot of strategy to the game. You just buy everything that you land on. That's pretty much what space means. Once you guys get control of this white room, even if you don't win by abusing the resource advantage that you got from a good Mei wall, you getting this room just means the rich get richer. You see what I'm saying? Because you know what? Think about this, Storm. If this Reinhardt goes to point here, their Reinhardt goes to point, you know what this flank means for their backline as a Junkrat player, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know
Yeah,
what
it's
spamming through
instruction.
this choke means. And Swag, maybe you're not the greatest Mei player in the history of the universe, but if they're to retake through this choke or to push on the point, you know what this Mei wall means to you. You know? And Fury, think about your options as a Batiste. Are you stuck back here? No, you're living high life, right? You got any angle that you want, right? So the rich get richer. You win the resource trade like that, you hold space. So just something to consider, I guess. I don't want to go too far down that rabbit hole, but really nice job, guys. Let's see what happens with our Mei wall trade here. So the key thing is that when you get a Mei wall, I guess the TLDR is you don't have to kill somebody off the Mei wall. You just need good pressure. You see, the problem with this Mei wall is what? Is it a fine Mei wall? Yeah, I guess, but where could it have been done better?
Right there.
Right there,
Yeah,
right?
there coming in. Yeah.
Now you guys are probably thinking, yeah, but we can't push there. So you don't need to push there. Who needs to push off of a Mei wall?
They do.
On your team, if you were to Mei wall here, who would push off of it?
Lucio and Ryan.
Right. No Mei?
And May.
Mei can, but you know what? Mei doesn't even have to. In fact, in some instances, it's even dangerous for a Mei too. She's very squishy now. There's no freeze, right? So
but she can right click.
She can, but you can Mei wall and just have your Ryan Lucio walk forward and swing in their Ryan, and everybody else just stands back here and just chews the cud and shoots. Because guess what? If you Mei wall right now, no Cassidy damage, no Junkrat damage, Baptiste has to use his jumps, and everybody else just sits here and shoots Ryan Shield, or shoots the Lucio, or if the Bat tries to jump over, or heck, you could Mei wall, and everyone's freaking breaking the Mei wall, and your stupid little rat goes around behind, one taps the back line. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That is like the most accurate depiction of Junkrat I've ever heard.
I mean, it's great. All right, I have a little bit too many hours in the rat. I'm not gonna show my career profile, but yeah, basically that's what's available to you guys, right? You guys don't have to be like, oh well, we can push them now. No, it doesn't have to. You can wall to just spam, right? One of the first things that you guys said is, what's Mei wall got? Cut off their people's LOS, right? And you just need to be engaged in a shooting war for a Mei wall to be good, right? You guys end up giving point for free, and ultimately, the reason why you lose this, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, is because this Mei wall is so bad that it's not playing to Mei's strengths. You give up too much space, and guess what hero likes wide open spaces?
Senor Cassidy.
Senor Cassidy. That is where Cassidy is better than Mei, case in point. Capity, and he's dead. Whereas Mei would prefer something a little bit tighter range. Do you guys see that? You literally lose because you don't take the fight not because you played too slow. That's a lazy term. You guys just didn't fight where you wanted to fight. You guys didn't fight in the location that benefits your composition. I lied. You guys are crazy. Wait. What was it? Wait, I gotta see this. This is the fire strike of all time. I want to see this.
Probably.
Wham! Oh, he almost got it. That was actually almost really good. That's the most sincere compliment I can give you. That was almost really good.
Thank you. I'll write it.
Having a GPA of 2.9. Okay, let's now let me ask the question. Where should you guys take the fights? Where's most beneficial to your comp?
Closer.
Why?
Because we like to swing.
Great. I mean, it's just this choke good Mei wall. That's it. Right? That's it. Don't have to play faster. Don't have to play slower. You guys can Mei wall here and just chew the cud and spam the Ryan Shield. Just because it's a good Mei wall. That's all. Oh dear. What is this? Maybe this Cassidy just dies anyway. I don't know what he's doing. Smoking some. Speaking of cud, I think he's. Okay. Fight plan. Let's sit with communication. It's getting late, so I'm going off the goop. What do you guys think here? Fight plan.
We window their engage and watch the fire strike kills rack up.
Okay. What happens if the fire strike kills don't rack up? What is the window gonna do?
It's going to give us like a lot of damage into them and force them to either back up or run into us.
Sure. And then Blizzard. Yeah. Whenever. And by the way, this is another circumstance where if Swag says, I want a Blizzard when they walk in, what do we say, guys?
Okay.
Okay. Smile. And not in the passive-aggressive cringe high school way. We actually are fine with it.
That one was my bad. I accidentally called for it too soon.
Yes. But without this window, wouldn't have the comedy gold that is this. Right there. Calculated
what was that?
by
I was
geometry expert Storm. Wait for this shot.
Yes, that class that I almost failed.
Wow. That is phenomenal.
I know, right?
All right, let's do it again. No laziness now. I know we're thinking Riptide. Okay, but okay, what's the plan, right?
A tire off the side.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah.
they do the bronze tire.
I remember
Oh,
thinking, what the
yeah.
hell is going on?
And that was like, an amazing lamp, by the way, Aaron. You
Thank you.
Boy.
killed that shit.
I am tired of that, but I am kind of okay at it.
Okay. All right. Uh-oh. What's the problem here?
The whole team's already backed
They're
up.
making a play
Yeah.
without us.
So, now I'm not going to lie to you guys. These kind of plays are hard to make. That's a mid-fight decision. What do? Do we get out? Do we get in? I don't know. But that's where your ability to shine as a team is being able to make those calls. Out or stay, because either would have worked. You did both, you lose. You guys can see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, the
I'm
fire
bad.
strike from Doom, yeah. I guess it is a high skill hero after all. Not as easy as it looks, right guys?
I don't know.
I
know, that's what I've been
Junkrat?
saying.
Wait, guys,
Junkrat?
Look at the effort. Oh man, look at that aim.
Look at that.
Holy
Did you see
shit.
that combo?
I
Oh
got
my
stuck.
god. You're
That was
welcome,
a-
Grong. I just saved you.
That was an aim death.
That was sick. All right, now let's whip out a comms again. All right, now they've done us a nice favor and they've used basically the entire kitchen sink. So how do we win this fight, Grong?
Well, they're gonna be close to their noon. Honestly, we just speed me in and I slam everyone, and then that's GG. Take the
okay.
point.
Is she prime here? Is she prime back?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. What do you think? You got an ultimate here. You can make a play here.
We rarely use beat to beat in unless necessary. I can't remember if we did it this time.
Right. I don't give
I
a
don't
rip.
think so.
Use it. How would you use it? If you were to beat in, how would you?
Well, yeah, if we were to speed in, I would use it if we were taking a lot of damage and we wanted to just move right in.
Sure. Something to consider though. Something to consider, because if there's nothing specifically you need to counter, that's probably the most consistent fight solution that you guys have. Shatter is a little inconsistent, more so than beat.
I mean, not when I'm using it.
I mean,
but-
you see the problem with this beat?
Mm-hmm.
You guys are beating and standing still. Give me cataracts, right? Like, you guys have to decide, are we going to push in here, or are we going to stand still? Because we could do both.
Yeah.
Well, we know but we can't do both. You guys kind of see what I'm saying? Like, you can choose, but this is where the communication is breaking down, and I really feel like you guys would benefit from looking at your Brawl execution as simply as you can. Because, like, compared to your spam, this is significantly worse. It's a small sample size, so this might be me being a little bit unfair. But the planning quality and the planning execution and the cohesion is, like, terrible, to be honest with you guys, compared to what you guys showed me on spam. Now, I understand that maybe these aren't all comfort heroes. Now, I know Swag on May. What about everybody else? I don't even want to ask what Storm's comfort on Junkrat is, so I'm going to skip that one over. But Chi Prime, I mean, you play Lucio. I assume Fury, BAP is fine for you.
She doesn't like
Fine.
that.
Okay.
I don't
mean, it's
like
boring,
him,
isn't
but
it?
I'm yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It's a good. That's a good
Thank
opinion.
you. Nobody agrees with me.
It's
Thank you.
because it's an objectively correct opinion. You know, wolves among sheep,
I
kind of,
think
or
it's
no, excuse me,
boring.
lions,
love
just
that.
lions and
What?
sheep. Grong, Ryan,
Fairly comfortable.
fairly comfortable. Okay, that means not at all comfortable. No, I'm messing. But really though, like, I think for you guys, it's like what you guys need to do is it's very similar to your spam, right? We talked about spam, communicating about making plays. With Dive, it was about addressing some of the backline issues and again the plays. For you guys, you need to find that low-hanging fruit. The really simple things that you can work on. Don't overcomplicate it. Guys, our planning sucks. Like, we're not cohesive with this at all. What do we need to change to improve that? You guys can, by the way. Okay, you guys do it fine. I was gonna say, as long as you amp out, it's fine. I mean, your comp is just better. The May, I think, is really good. The wall just needs to hit. That's all. Let's take a look here.
Oh yeah, like I said, I'm pretty bad.
That's okay. Just because this wall is fine. Like, it just needs to hit. You just whiff it. You know. That being said, the Ram big cleave. Theoretically, nice. Good target focus on the Sim there. Now, this is where target focus matters a little bit more because there isn't any backline to distract right now. Everybody's kind of all in the same spot, clumped up and shooting the same target. This is where, yeah, target focus, it kind of matters. And you guys win. Nicely done.
I mean,
Wait. You guys win, right? Look at that Padme Amidala meme.
I
Right?
think so. No,
Right?
okay, I was thinking of a different
win,
map.
right?
We win this. We win this. I was thinking of something else.
Right? Okay.
I was thinking different scrim. My bad. My bad.
Now. Let's just pretend that you guys don't, you don't have an ultimate. How do you win this fight? Is there anybody here that can make a play? And if anybody says anything about, oh, we sim TP on the backline, I'm gonna scream because that is a play, but that's not the only play you guys can do.
Storm.
Our Kiriko
Can wall them on the side with all the turrets.
Sure. You could do a wall push.
Our Kiriko can take an off angle and then TP back while getting pressured.
Sure. Could even just have like a nemesis form push, guys. And guys, you don't have to be like super creative with it. You could say, guys, I just want to like wall push their sim with nemesis. That's a play, right?
TP behind them.
That's a play, right? You could just have say, guys, I just want to wall push with nemesis. That's fine. Doesn't have to be cute. But obviously at this point in time, either you have an ultimate with the sim wall, but you guys once again see the problem with what's happening right now, right?
Yeah.
Is the wall good in terms
Yeah.
of yes, it is. Is the timing good for like the timing of the wall in terms of like taking a fight? Sure, but what's wrong with the picture?
We are not ready to capitalize.
You are not ready to capitalize on this at all. You could be, but you're not. So whose fault is this? Well, here's the way democracy works. I count 1, 2, 3, 4 people not ready and 1 person ready. So I'm going to point the finger. But this is what needs to change. This is what needs to change. You guys talk about struggles with Brawl and Dive. This is what the struggle is. And this is in line with what we saw the previous round. And to be honest, guys, this is what was wrong with their backline and Dive too. You guys remember that?
Yep.
It's just as simply as people aren't ready. That's it. It's a phenomenal wall. Huge advantage. Oh my gosh. Even this May wall, right? What are we doing with this May wall? Is this a good May wall, guys? What do you guys think?
I'd say
Can't
so.
back out.
Yeah.
Yo.
Can't back out. Mario's stuck.
Whoa,
Whereas on
and
the
that.
other side.
Right. Great May wall. But what the heck is going on with our team right now? Are we pushing this or not? What's the plan? You guys don't have to like 3, 2, 1 hard in, but there's 2 people not even shooting shield, much less anything else. Right? That's the problem. Suffering.
We like to call it COVID.
Yeah.
That's a good name. That's a good name. Yeah, I mean, but see, why do you guys lose this fight? Was your plan bad? Was your micro bad? Maybe not. Mechanics, target focus,
We just weren't ready.
Timing.
timing. You just didn't function at all. Like the only thing, the sim wall, May wall, garbage. Great execution, terrible team play, and that's where you need to put your attention on. Now that's easy to look at from a third-person view, but if you guys want to talk about what's going wrong with your communication in terms of your Brawl and Dive, that's it. That's it right there. That's it right there. Now, I don't know if this is a tilt map. I don't know if this is people not on their comfort heroes, so they're like really thinking really hard, and so that they're not talking as much as they should. But this is the symptom right here. You guys need to go find what the disease is and solve it. More than anything else that we've talked about with your Brawl, more than anything else to do with their Dive. So let's stop there and let's work out some points. And I'm just gonna message Fury or Aaron on our points. Brawl. It's real simple. What do we need to practice with our Brawl? Communication and execution. What did we just see?
Like bad timing.
Timing,
Probably, yeah.
right. Timing of engagements, plans, staying on the same page. Even going back to the May Blizzard while the rest of us are pressing the S key, right? Going back to the deciding where we wanted to wall. Going back to they high noon, so we're going to beat, but also we're not going to push. We're kind of pushing, but no, we're standing still and doing neither properly, right? Either would have worked, but we did neither. Okay. What about our Dive? Very similar, but slightly different. What about our Dive? 2 things really.
A mix of like execution.
What was wrong with the execution?
It was
Supports weren't ready.
yeah.
Right. Supports not ready / I mean, really, and also supports not positioning themselves for success. Remember the brig flail smacking people around, right? It's really it was more specific to that matchup, but it's good to think about, like, what does my hero actually provide? Am I in position to provide that value? Go. Now, what their enemy team's goal is going to be turning all of those green lights red. In other words, when we're talking about timing, Sombra on an angle, Tracer on a flank, Winston ready, backline ready, check, here we go, 5, 4. No, their job is to turn those lights red. You guys get what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
Their job is to mess you up while you're trying to set up. So you may have to be a little bit quicker. You might have to be a little bit more efficient. You might have to have 4 green lights. Oh no, we messed up a little bit. That's okay. But that's the goal. And if you're aiming for that, you're at least practicing the right things. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. What about spam? Let's talk a little bit about communication with spam. It's pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Felt pretty good. What would you guys say, or if there was anything actionable or specific to work on with spam? What would you guys say?
Focus on who's making the plays and helping them.
Who is making the plays and help them with or without an ult? In terms of the communication, the non-negotiables. Who has an ult can make a call, and Grong can lead this, but if someone has an idea, speak up. Or who is getting played, right? Who's under threat? Who's under pressure? Who needs help, right? This is why, like, and again, I guess to wrap this all up in a nice tidy little package is like, this is just practice, guys. It's just practice. Everything that you guys do is just a process. Do not be scared to make mistakes. Do not be scared to goof up or try things and for them to fail. I mean, I don't know you guys that well, but it sure sounds like this is a nice and fun team environment. So don't really have anything to lose, right? Just go out there and don't be scared of making mistakes, because the mistake is being scared of making mistakes and then shutting down and getting frustrated when things aren't going well. That's the mistake. That's like saying, oh man, I feel sick today. I'm going to hit myself over the head with a hammer. I mean, yeah, you'll forget that you're sick, but it's going to hurt nonetheless. So why not take one problem instead of making it 2? Because at least if you're trying things and failing miserably, that's a productive failure. Whereas a shutting down is an unproductive failure. There's a very, very important difference there. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Do you guys have any questions at all? You can't
We'll
think
have
of
to
any.
take it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that, and that's why I want you guys to prioritize what to work on here, right? I try to keep it simple for each comp, but don't feel like this all needs to be like, all right, guys, we're scrimming at a 3.5k level, and all these things are fixed. Even the act of implementing some of these things are going to make you guys a little bit worse in the short term. That's just how learning works. So just pick something simple, keep it streamlined, don't overcomplicate yourself. Heck, you guys could have a team meeting and be like, we just decided that we want to work on 1 out of like the 4 or 5 things that we talked about, and we're going to do that for a couple of weeks. That's great. That's great. The worst thing you guys could do is try to do all these things at once. I'm telling you right now, don't do it. I'm throwing a lot your way, because it's not only meant to be things to work on right now, but it's also homework for the next several weeks. I want to give you guys stuff to work on in the future too, but don't force it right now. Make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Nobody, not Overwatch League, not a bronze team, not a GM team should ever try to do this much all at once. And if any questions do come up, by the way, you guys can message me anytime. I will drop my Discord in the so you can friend me and just shoot me any messages that you want. No questions?
None at the moment, but I'm sure some will come up.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just gonna